it's part of who I am.
And so, when you look in the mirror now, and the image that looks back at you, are there days when you say, well, I kind of like this, or I like my hair today, or
I'm never
I think I'm pretty cute today?
No, I'm pretty cute today. No, I try not to look in the mirror. I really do, because I'm never happy with what I see. So I go on with my work and get it done.
I have to ask you this. So many mothers in my audience have said to please ask you this question.
Yeah.
Why do you always grab your crotch?
Why do I grab my crotch?
Yeah, why? We think you got a thing with your crotch going on
I think it happens subliminally. When I dance, if you're a dancer, you know, you're just interpreting the sounds and the accompaniment of the music. If there's a driving bass, you become the bass. If there's a cello, if there's a string, you become that. So you become the emotion of what that sound is. Okay? So if I'm doing a movement and I go BAM! And I grab myself, it's the music that compels me to do it. It's not saying I'm getting ready to grab down there and it's not a great place. You don't think about it, it just happens. Sometimes I'll look back at the footage and I'll go, did I do that?
Yeah.
So I'm slave to the rhythm.
Yeah.
Okay?
I think the alarm's going off in the house. I don't know why. But we're going to fix it in a minute. We're in live television, so we're going to go to break. These things happen. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Are y'all ready for the jam?
They manipulate our history books. The history books are not true. It's a lie. The history books are lying. You need to know that. You must know that.
I think it's important to be here. I'm not just fighting for myself, I'm fighting for all artists. Those great artists who pioneered, you know, entertainment business, as well as songwriting, as well as incredible staging. You know, the fact that they have been taken by the system, totally broken them financially. You know, and this has to stop this conspiracy.
They made and created so much joy for the world. And the system, meaning the record companies, totally took advantage of them. And it's not like they always say, you know, they built a big house, they spent a lot of money, they bought a lot of cars. That's stupid, it's an excuse. That's nothing compared to what artists make. And I just need you to know that this is very important, what we're fighting for. Because I'm tired, I'm really tired of the manipulation. I'm tired of how the press is manipulating everything that's been happening in this situation. They do not tell the truth. They're liars. And they manipulate our history books. The history books are not true. It's a lie. The history books are lying. You need to know that. You must know that. The minute I started breaking the all-time record in record sales, I broke Elvis's records. I broke Beatles' records. The minute it became the all-time best-selling albums in history in the Guinness Book of World Records, overnight, they called me a freak. They called me a homosexual. They called me a child molester. They said I tried to bleach my skin. They made everything to turn the public against me. This was all complete conspiracy. You have to know that.
#1 pop star in the world. His Thriller CD topped the charts, while his latest didn't crack the top 10. What has this done to your career?
What has it done to my career?
What has it done to your career?
In what way?
How has it impacted,
my
touring, record sales?
album's #1 all over the world. All over the world. America's the only one because I don't want to say too much.
But it's not #1 in the United States.
It's conspiracy, yeah. I don't want to say too much. I'm done.
I don't want to say much because I'm hurting. I'm really hurting.
Privacy was key in this room, obviously.
Yeah, he liked his privacy. When the doors were open, you know, it was okay, but when he left, he wanted his privacy. He had his privacy.
This is one of the bathrooms. There are two bathrooms.
See, he had his privacy.
This is one of the bathrooms.
See, he had his privacy.
This is one of the bathrooms.
See, he had his privacy.
This is one of the bathrooms.
See, he had his privacy.
This is one of the bathrooms. Privacy was key in this room, obviously.
Yeah, he liked his privacy. When the doors were open, you know, it was okay, but when he left, he wanted his privacy. He had his privacy.
This is one of the bathrooms. There are two bathrooms.
Let me just say this. The tradition of great performers from, and I really want you to hear what I have to say, the tradition of great performers from Sammy Davis Jr. to James Brown to Jackie Wilson to Fred Astaire, Gene Kelly. The story is usually the same though, you know, these guys work really hard at their craft, but the story ends the same. They usually are broken, torn, and usually just sad, and the story is very sad in the end, because the companies take advantage of them. They really do. And Sony, being the artist that I am at Sony, I've generated several $1 billion for Sony, several billion, and they really thought that my mind is always on music and dancing, and it usually is, but they never thought that this performer myself would outthink them.
Yeah!
And Tommy Mottola is a devil.
Clearly, it suited the U.S. government, the mafia, and in particular, Michael Jeffrey, for Jimi to be neutralized. But just how did Jimi Hendrix die?
All right, now it's been said for 30 years that Jimi Hendrix choked on his own vomit. It was said that he died of a heroin overdose. Of course, none of that's true. He didn't choke to death on his own vomit. Something had to make him sick, right? So now it's known that he took 9 Vesperex tablets. These are sleeping pills the night that he died. Now, it's been said that he died from an overdose of barbiturates. The problem is Jimi Hendrix was a chronic insomniac. He was used to barbiturates, and the Vesperex that he took really had very little effect on him. He took 2 tablets. He didn't feel a thing, couldn't go to sleep. He had taken an amphetamine capsule at a party the night before. So the 9 Vesperex tablets he took really had no connection to his ultimate end. But when he was wheeled into the emergency room, his throat was cleared, and the physician wrote that great masses of red wine came gushing out of his stomach and his lungs, right? So as I reenact the death of Jimi Hendrix, he must have been held down, a gallon of wine poured down his throat until he drowned. There were only 20 milligrams of alcohol in his blood when he was brought to the emergency room, which means there wasn't even enough time for that alcohol to enter his system. So the cause of death was drowning, and it looks to me like it was a forced drowning.
They're forming me, they're playing the part that great chokes me almost, but I can't let the joke come out.
Jimi Hendrix had a packet of 42 Vesperex tablets in his pocket. Now, Eric Burden of the Animals has claimed that Jimi Hendrix committed suicide. If that was the intent, it's very likely that he would have taken all the barbiturates in his possession. So it's clear that suicide was not the object. If suicide had been the intent,